What's the cost of a CD? With 1,500 places, one sale. What's that to 1,500 P's on one scale? For a starving artist. Hey yo, Eeze!
These artists are on these streaming forms. They are on these streaming platforms. Even from a guy like a J. Cole that say how many artists got streams from these bots. They not as hot as they seem. Well, J. Cole is a part of that system as well, and he don't even know it. The major labels are running these streaming farms. They running these streaming numbers. They running these setups. All right, we in a major industry, and that industry is ran by a machine. This shit the Matrix, and I'm Neo.
Wow. Streaming numbers, in your estimation, what does it mean? Is there a clear-cut definition on how we should engage within streaming to this very day? And if not, why is it such a daunting task to figure out how much a stream is worth and what is the process behind it? Makes you wonder, right? Let's continue.
Everyone in the hood has a hot verse, but the chances of making it big are slim to none. Chad's a computer genius who went from a total unknown to a chart-topping artist in just a few months' time with the help of a cheat code known as bots. Bots are computer programs that are designed to act like humans online, only lightning fast and far more efficient. Some people use bots to buy up high-demand products, jack up the price, and resell them for a big profit. Others program bots to rack up fake streams on Spotify or generate likes and comments on their social media pages to appear more successful than they really are. The lines are so blurred between legitimate business and these fraudulent schemes that you can't really tell which is which.
Now, they mentioned sneaker sales or probably like concert tickets or stuff like that. What makes sense with bots, right? Because you could resell, make a upfront purchase, right? And then now the concert is sold out, or the sneakers or footwear sold out, and now you can put it on the resellers market. I understand that, but from a label perspective, I'm confused as to why the manipulation with the numbers. From a Spotify, the more engagement that they have, they can probably charge more money to the advertisers. I get that part. But with the labels, I'm still a bit fuzzy as to why they have streaming farms. Does it generate more money? And if so, if Spotify is aware of the streaming farms, what will give them any incentive of increasing the pay per stream? You see how crazy this is? It's mind-boggling. And I think this is intended to be this way, but I don't understand why. And who continues to lose? The artist. You get some chump change, but the bulk of the bread is going somewhere else, and we don't even know how the price point is distinguished. Nasty work.
You ever tried to buy tickets to a concert and it instantly said sold out? Or have trouble finding the hottest pair of sneakers? Well, that's because a bot beat you to the punch. You'll end up buying those same tickets or sneakers on the resale market at premium price from the same people running those bots. And most online consumers are clueless to this type of manipulation, especially in the music industry.
I took a completely different angle. I tried to master IT, I tried to master technology. You know, a young black guy figuring out the way that all the major labels, man, touch the real money, so I could empower my people and make sure I could give them back ownership. You know, there's different ways to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, enforce your will.
So what were some of the ways that you began to do that?
Today's world, everybody's using a streaming phone. Streaming phone, man, is a bunch of different cell phones that sign up to Spotify. They play your record over and over again. You get streams, you get paid. You know, plain and simple. Being able to use my streaming platforms, man, I was able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. We were able to chart on Billboard. We were able to chart on Spotify. We were able to chart on Apple Music, Tidal, Shazam. These streaming farms help you start the process, and that tactic is turning into legitimate money.
Okay, I understand the payday, right? Streaming farms, a bunch of cell phones, as he stated, playing your songs many times over. You get the money, right? Because that's the payday, right? But my thing is, not only is it artificial, it leads to a point to where we won't really have any timeless music going forward, right? Or it'll be very rare. Why? Because people aren't necessarily buying or listening to this music. It's manipulation. Think about it. You go back, like even the 90s, the 2000s. Songs that you love from back then was something that you heard, you gravitated towards it, and you play it to this very day because it aligns with an emotion or a feeling that you had at that time, right? A lot of these cats are making money, large dough, but no one really listened to it. It was just a bot. So you got the payday, but it's just millions and millions of songs out there that no one really heard, which brings down the value of the music that we love because it's oversaturated. I think that's the dangerous piece that most people overlook when we're talking about the streaming and these bots. And I'm a bit worried.
Chad may look the part, but he's only made it this far because of his knowledge behind the computer screen. These days, a lot of artists you think you discovered on your streaming app were actually force-fed to you by computer software. Or in other words, a bot.
So when it comes to streaming on Spotify or fake streams, bots will be programmed to follow artists, save songs, put songs on playlists, and to listen to songs to increase the amount of plays of their music or their exposure or the perceived popularity of the band. And there's no clear law that outlaws that. So there are certainly elements of the bot ecosystem that have elements of a black market.
These artists are on these streaming forums. They are on these streaming platforms. Even from a guy like a J. Cole that say how many artists got streams from these bots. They not as hot as they seem. Well, J. Cole is a part of that system as well, and he don't even know it. The major labels are running these streaming forums. They running these streaming numbers. They running these setups. All right? We in a major industry, and that industry is ran by a machine. This shit the Matrix. And I'm Neo.
Wow. That was profound, straight to the point. And keep this in mind. So when you're comparing your favorite artist to someone else who may have 3, 4, 5, 6 times the amount of streaming sales that they have, keep in mind, that's what the machine is all about. Sometimes you relate the machine to marketing or a budget. It's a new day and age. That budgeting could very well be connected to what? A streaming farm. So you have to ask yourself, all of us included, how could an indie artist keep up with that? You can't compete with that. You can't. But there are other ways to support an artist. Like this individual here may make the money. He may make money. But being a legacy artist may very well be nearly impossible. Why? Because you never really built that foundation or established a fan base. You just manipulated numbers.
I heard you used to put on a lot of concerts, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about the one with you and Lil Baby.
All right, so cool, man. Summer 2018, I was contacted by, a couple different promoter kids that I knew from the city. And they had been watching the movement, man. Like I said, I had just charted on Billboard. I had a big song with Dance With Me. And I was making money, Mike. I was doing well, bro. So they asked me to, one, sponsor the concert, then also be a part of the concert. Chad Focus, Moneybag Yo, Lil Baby concert. The next part about being Chad Focus, bro, is that I got $125,000 worth of budget to go ahead and buy all these tickets.
Did you just physically go on the computer and buy them yourself, or what did you do?
I can reverse engineer what a human does, right? So say Mike takes out his phone and he goes to Ticketmaster website that took him 30 seconds. We watch Mike put his credit card information in there. He sit and think about it. Do I gotta ask, my significant other whether I can go to this concert or not? So now you done took 2 minutes to think about that $300 you about to spend. When you press that send button and it accepts a payment, you just spent 6 minutes for a purchase. You understand what I'm saying? I gotta take 6 minutes in between purchases to not trigger a fraud detection. I use a bot. I need to purchase these tickets at 6-minute intervals, and I need to do this shit when everybody is asleep. Even the promoters was running around here talking about, yo, we sold out, they bragging. They didn't know what the fuck was going on. Now I'm sitting on extra tickets, man. I can relist them on Ticketmaster, or I can relist them on another website we call StubHub. Buy it low and flip it high. I resold them tickets, for $500,000. What kind of profit I make? We spent $250,000, so the net profit $250,000. I know how to make $250,000 in 5 minutes.
Listen, man, that is pure genius. It may be fake or artificial, but it's genius, the fact that it took the time to figure that out. It's almost like when you buy stocks, right? You buy low, you want to make a profit, you sell high. But the fact that he took the time to understand that there's a 6-minute gap in between someone making a decision, and he's buying all of these tickets and reselling them, that's pure genius. But another caveat to this is the fans aren't real, are they? Because you are attached to other artists. They reached out to you because of numbers which aren't real. They added you to the show. Now you're reselling tickets that are attached to that show via a bot. But the fans aren't there to see you. And you're only connected because of manipulation. Music industry, it ain't looking too good.
So that's called scalping, bro. And I mastered that shit by just watching the game. We watch what a Live Nation does. We watch how they can sell out a Metallica, a Jay-Z, a Kanye West concert. All right? Live Nation, one of the biggest plugs in the world. They own the venues, right? Their job is to pack the venues out by any means necessary. They fill out their venues by buying all the tickets up. And then they be like, yo, sold out. You ever looked up and every tour was sold out and every date was sold out? And you're like, how the fuck they sold out? But then people can still buy tickets.
There's not much legislation that deals with the bot ecosystem. In the US, we've got the Bots Act of 2016, which was designed to stop ticket scalpers from automatically buying large numbers of tickets to resell. That's the sole piece of federal legislation, but it's rarely enforced, and currently I don't think that our congressmen and women know enough about the technology or about the way the digital economy works to write effective legislation.
So what happened after the concert?
Because I was doing that concert at the level I was doing it, I got a lot of notoriety. The concert basically triggered a bigger snowball, which was we got to look deep into this guy. He didn't just flip millions of dollars. He out here fucking making records with T-Pain, Lil Mo. He getting crazy amounts of money. You know, people act like I'm the fucking godfather of the bots. They act like I'm the guy that created this shit. You know, I'm just the one that optimized it and figure out how to do better than the guys that did create it.
Don't hate the player.
Hate the game, right?
Wow, kind of goes back to my original point, how the fans aren't necessarily there to see him, but he did get a bag and he got connected to other artists. But at the same time, the people who looking into him are probably asking themselves the same thing. How is this guy able to do this? If he, an independent artist, is able to pull this off and make a large sum of money, could you imagine what the major labels are making? Streaming. Are the numbers real? Go get yours. Yeah.
Hey, yo, Eeze.